Hi, and welcome to Strap a Watch. Michael Knapp Leather. Well, it's raining outside. It's been raining for the last 2 days, so I apologize for the sound quality. I don't know why I chose to have a metal roof put on my leather studio, but it was a stupid mistake. I should have just had a regular asphalt roof, and I wouldn't have had this type of noise interference that we do have when it does rain. I've been trying to get out here for like 2 days to do this intro, and it's kind of subsided, but there's drops coming off the trees, so that's that popping noise you're hearing, so apologize for that. Today's episode, we're not really highlighting a particular watch other than Omega Seamaster. I've got mine on, and I just finished a strap for a gentleman, exact same strap of the one that I had made for my Omega Seamaster is going on his Omega Seamaster. His name is Richard. He's out of Dubai in the UAE. So thank you, Richard, for the order. He had actually ordered two straps, a black Alligator with white stitching for a Speedy with a white dial, pretty cool watch, and also a Seamaster. And that is a royal midnight blue alligator skin with double row stitching. That's what you're going to see me hand make on today's episode. It's a very challenging build doing this double row stitching. It's an added service fee that I have listed on my website. It's $20 for the extra time and material that it takes for me to do the double row stitching, and it's very difficult. So that's on today's episode, what you're going to highlight seeing me do today. And also there's a couple other newer things in the shop that I was going to cover for you. A lot of people ask questions. They see stuff in my studio and shop and they're like, oh, that's new. Oh, what's that? You know? So I thought I'd go into some of the newer things. And also I've been so busy, you guys, still getting caught up through the whole holiday rush. And I'm finally starting to get above water. So thank you everybody for your orders. I've got a couple right here. So, John, here's your peanut millennium tan, genuine alligator skin strap. Turned out absolutely gorgeous. Your keeper, I'm getting ready to put that on. I got the edge paint on it. And Mario, here is your camel tan Shinki Hikaku shell Cordovan strap. Turned out absolutely beautiful. And also, I talked to a few other people today via email. Pastor Allen, I've got yours all glued together. I got to do the final cuts. I'll end up doing those tomorrow and get that done. I should have that out to you early this week. And also Tony, I talked to you today via email as well. Thank you for the clarification on whether you wanted that strap made with a tape or straight. So we got it all worked out. So if I haven't gotten to you yet, I will be emailing you once I do start on your straps. I always do that. Gunther in Canada, I think it's just being held up in the mail. We've been in contact with each other, but other than that, I've gotten some just great feedback from people, some pictures that I've still got to upload on the gallery on my website from people who've received their straps and put them on their watches. So that's always fun for me to receive those. So in today's episode, that's what you're going to see me do, is hand make this double row stitching strap. Some of the new things inside the studio. Stick around. After the intro, we'll get right into it. Thank you so much for joining me today on Strap a Watch. And rain, go away. I'm sure you're hearing that popping now. I got back out to the studio here to do the voiceover, and every single time it seems I come out here to do one of these, it's raining. So here you're seeing me cutting out the alligator hide. That was a royal midnight blue alligator hide, a North American alligator. This is Zermatt calfskin out of France, very high-end calf I utilize for the lining. It's super water resistant, very soft, comfortable on the skin, super durable, and that's why I strictly use this now for my linings. I also use a black box calf for black straps sometimes. Just really depends on the actual strap itself. But over the last couple of months, I've really been sticking to that Zermatt. I just love it, absolutely love it. And this is a leather that I'm utilizing right here. You'll see one of the newer tools here pretty soon that I, as a spacer, is kind of sandwiched in between the upper and the lining. And what I'm doing here, this is a new tool. This is something I wanted to be showing you guys. And it's a skiving machine. It's a hand machine, so you can see what I'm doing, applying pressure and then putting it through that super sharp blade. And I got this, I think, from Weaver Leather Supply. They're not cheap if you get a good one. If you guys, you leather crafters out there, if you've been looking at some of these, I want to say I paid right around $400 or so for that tool. And then you saw me with some thickness gauge calipers there checking out, because that's what it's all about, is trying to get all of the dimensions down, a good taper from the lug width, the actual lugs themselves, all the way down to the point end. You want it tapering down and being kind of even throughout where the buckle holes are going to be, especially on the point end of the strap. And here you're getting ready to see me emboss my logo. If you've been watching my channel, you've seen me do this actually several times. I don't put it on every video, but I thought kind of been a while since I've done it. It's just to show you guys embossing my logo, Michael Knapp Leather. And again, thank you so much, all you guys who have placed orders. So many subscribers have placed orders. I used to say this all the time. I haven't been lately. Just, I think it got kind of redundant. But I started this channel, Strap a Watch, just promoting enthusiasm for the wearing of watches and leather straps. I'm a huge enthusiast of mechanical watches, and it was really dawning on me how few and far between people were wearing, let alone watches, but especially mechanical watches. I deal with the public so much with my hearing healthcare clinic, and I had started kind of just surveying people, starting a couple years ago almost. Why don't you wear a watch? Well, I don't need a watch. I have my cell phone. Or they're uncomfortable, or they were wearing an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, some type of, smart watch. And, and then people that would come in with a mechanical watch, boy, it's the watch radar goes off, and I'd strike up a conversation right away. And, and a lot of you patients of mine who are into watches are also now subscribers to this channel. So thank you for that as well. And all of my subscribers, I just, thank you so much. That's what this was all about, was building a community of like-minded people. This was something else that is kind of newer, that I had transferred all of my acrylic templates into these bins. I utilize these bins for all of my lug pins. Some deployant clasps are in there as well in different sizes. Not everything is labeled. I did label all of the quick release lug pins that I keep in stock, and then also all of these acrylic templates. And I have them in all different sizes and kind of different shapes. I've gone through several. Sometimes they break. Even what you see me doing right here with these quick Irwin vices, these right there, these vices that I'm using. If I go a little bit too tight and one end's a little up too high, it'll crack that acrylic, and I've done that a few good times. So I learned really kind of how to be cool with it, and it's been working out now for over a year. I used to just use pressure by hand, holding it down, and it's dangerous because, I mean, we're dealing with, especially with Alligator, is super tough to cut. I have to put on a brand new blade every single time I do that. I go through a lot of blades, which is okay. They're pretty cheap, and I always have tons of blades in stock. So, and here you're seeing me just getting all of the dimensions down. I've then cut the point, and I'm beveling the edges of the lining. And I always, once you sand the leather, it gets pretty fuzzy on those edges. That's why you see me kind of burning that the fuzz off. But there's we call that beveling, and it's kind of rounding it off. On an Alligator strap, I do not do that any longer. I learned kind of the hard way. I'm all self-taught, so I mean, I've never had like leather crafting lessons. I did read some books 30 plus years ago when I first started out, really how to build a knife sheath, a couple of books on those, and that was it. I'm totally self-taught. I've had some other leather crafters kind of get in my grill about how I don't saddle stitch correctly and my technique is poor, and hey, where do you get lessons other than maybe now YouTube on how to do stuff? But I'm pretty pleased with the way I do it. I just do it really as an art. I'm taking a lot of measurements and using a lot of precision tools. But the bottom line is, when it boils down to it, you're seeing me cut stuff. I mean, a lot of this is by eye, and is just pure art. It's that's how I look at these, as kind of my sculptures of watch straps. As this leather craft. And it's so fun and relaxing. I absolutely love making watch straps. I've made so many leather goods in my past. And I absolutely love making watch straps. They're fun to make. The time flies by. When I get into my studio, the next thing I know, it's 1 a.m, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to bed. I gotta be at the office at 9 for my day job. If you don't know, I say this quite a bit on most of my shows, but if you're newer, I own a hearing healthcare clinic. And I'm a practicing audio prosthologist, so along with my wife and son-in-law, we operate a hearing clinic. We do hearing aids and hearing testing and all kinds of stuff. I have several rock stars and all kinds of people. We have thousands and thousands of patients, and it's a very successful practice. So we're very blessed. And I can't give it up because, it's a gold mine. It's a real moneymaker. I wish I could be doing this, my straps and the show full time. And that's another reason, I apologize too. I haven't gotten a show out in a couple weeks. And in fact, probably the last 6 weeks, it's been very few and far between for me to be able to get shows out. And the reason is January is the busiest month at our hearing clinic too, because we have people with insurance, and their new insurance comes effective in January, and we do a tremendous amount of business in January. So here you can see, you saw me, put the construction of this strap all together for the Royal Midnight Blue Alligator hide, and then the two colors that Richard had chosen were white outer stitching and red inner stitching. So that's what you're going to be seeing me do here. I'm starting the hand saddle stitching. This is what some other, leather crafters said, oh, you're doing this all wrong. And I mean, come on, the final product speaks for itself. So, and this is sped up 8 times. This actually takes quite a while. That's why I have to charge that extra $20, because we're adding another probably 45 minutes of time plus the material, and I have to, that's just in the stitching. I also have to prick the holes for the stitching holes in there as well, and get all that nice and lined up. That takes time. So that's what that fee is for. It's just an added fee for the time factor and the materials. And I think you guys would understand all of that. But saddle stitching is an art. I tell you, when I first started, it was the hardest thing because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm trying to read a book, and with my dyslexia, I've mentioned this in the past. If you didn't know, I'm very dyslexic, so it was tough. Nowadays, I'm a visual learner, so going to other people's YouTube channels about leather crafting and watching them do it, there's some really cool techniques. It's just when it's ingrained into you, for 30 years and doing it a certain way, then I'm not about ready to change. It works. I mean, it's self-evident in the final product here. And what you're seeing me do there is I just was snipping off, after backstitching. I go backstitching a couple of backstitches, and that's what holds the saddle stitching all in place. It's super, super strong. Okay, you guys. And then you'll see me, I've got this little zapper. It's a heating element on that tip, and it basically melts the tiger thread stitching right there. Kind of creates a weld. So, and then I tamp it down. This helps relax the stitching. I'm just lightly tamping with that hammer. And, you can see what I'm doing right here. It helps get it all down in form. Because when you saddle stitch around that perimeter, it kind of will warp it and make it kind of curl over to one side. So that's what I'm doing right there. It's just re-straightening it all back out. But the camera work got a little bit out of focus there, you can see. But we're getting ready to see the very final product right here. So check this out. There's my Seamaster and the strap that I had made for myself months ago. And what Richard had done was actually ordered the exact same strap for his Seamaster. I did recommend the double stitching and telling him that, it's a very unique look, and I promised him nobody else in the world other than myself is going to have a strap just like this. It's actually quite an American-looking patriotic strap, the red, white, and blue. It really just matches my Seamaster very well. So there's mine on my royal midnight blue alligator strap on my watch, and then the one next to it is the one for Richard. That's going to be it's already been shipped out to Dubai. I don't know if he's received it yet. I'm sure he'll contact me right away, but I shipped it out a good 4 or 5 days ago now. I had been filming this all last week. I've just been trying to get this show put together and working on straps and working late at my day job, and then it's raining. So I was trying to put off doing this intro and the voiceover when I had some good sound quality, but I just can't wait. I mean, I got to get this show out. It's been a while, a couple weeks since I put out a show, so I had to do it. But I think this strap looks great. So the one on the right is a black alligator with red and white stitching. Red on the outside, white on the inside, that I made for my Damasco DA35, but I switched it out with my Zinn 556i. So pretty cool. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. God bless you all, and until next time, keep on ticking.